to Season 2!
Hi and welcome. We're glad you're here. If you're pulling your hair out right now because your kids are home and you don't know what homeschool means, you came to the right place.
We realize that a lot of you have been considering, oh wait, no, you haven't been considering this. You just jumped right in.
It's been thrust upon you.
Yes. So welcome.
We just did a Facebook live stream this week and homeschooling was the biggest topic on the thread. So we're shifting gears this week. We're going to focus a little bit on it. We've had people asking us for tips as we've been traveling, and now it's a whole different thread. It's a whole different discussion. So maybe something that we're doing or have been doing for the last 10 years might help you and your family.
Or you might just think we're so crazy that you automatically feel better about your whole situation.
Wow, they're terrible. And we're doing
Either
okay.
way,
That's helpful though.
It's going to be good. Right off the bat, we recognize this is a stressful time for everybody. And that, I would say if you hear nothing else, just hear it's going to be okay. Give yourself some grace and try not to stress.
Yeah, we realize that what we've been doing for 10 years is different than what most families are doing now. A lot of people are forced into it. They're working 1 or 2 jobs and trying to figure out how to balance all that with the expectations of the school.
So first off, everyone has different styles. Parents have different styles, and it's good to recognize that as you go through this process, your partner and yourself may not see eye to eye on some things. Not that we've ever done that or experienced that.
We have perfect harmony at all times. See, some people like to get up at 5 a.m. and have their quiet time before they ever get rolling, and that's okay. Some people prefer to sleep until 6 or 7 or 10. And that's okay. I mean, when you have a day off, you should be able to sleep in a little bit. But there's no perfect way.
Regardless of whether your significant other and you are in perfect harmony or absolutely not, we just want to say that from experience, having differences in opinion and different ways of doing things,
styles,
are completely beneficial for the kids. They learn more than one way to tackle a problem. They learn that they can learn whether they're morning people or evening people. We have a couple of kids that they just do better schoolwork in the afternoon. And that learning about the dynamics in the family and learning about their learning style is great. They can take that knowledge with them throughout the rest of their lives. One thing that we mentioned before is organization at the beginning of the day. It's pretty important to have a little bit of organization just to kind of let the kids know what route they're going. What direction are we going today? Because you will know that kids get disappointed if things don't go their way. So it's really good to get them on board with your plan for the day to kind of head off any misunderstandings.
So you make your plan their plan, and then everybody's a winner.
That's right. We typically do 45 minutes for a subject and 15 minutes of a break. It helps catapult the kids into a little bit better production for each subject instead of just having an open-ended schedule, because we have some children that are very detailed and they would take the whole day for one subject. So we know that's the only way that they can feel successful at the end of the day.
For our breaks, we don't allow screen time. We prefer activity. Outdoor is best, but when you've only got a 15-minute timer, we've got several things that can set a timer on. Sometimes it's singing, dancing, playing, engage with other kids on a break, but screen time is not an option for the breaks. So.
Nope.
We made an ATM out of cardboard. I just finished it. So we have a bunch of different cards, and on the back they have the card swiping line, and they have a bunch of numbers. This one has all of them. So it can do 10, 20s, 50s, and 100s. It actually works. So sometimes it malfunctions, if I'm correct. So you slide it in, and the money falls out the bottom.
Okay, let me see how that works. So you press it in, and then it...
So the money is stacked up.
Yeah.
And then this piece is so not all the money comes out, just so one comes out at a time.
Yeah.
There's 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s. So what the card does is it pushes the bottom money out, and then it comes out and it falls down the ramp and out the hole down here where my fingers are.
That is so fun. Good job.
Each child can earn a very limited amount of screen time in the day if they complete their chores and some additional reading outside of the school curriculum. And it's a minute to minute. So if they read for 10 minutes, they get 10 minutes on a screen to FaceTime, to text, to play a game. And that's how we have it structured. And that electronic time can only happen between 3:30 and 6, and that is it.
Yeah, nothing after 6 o'clock.
Isaac, you stay right behind me, and Kate, you stay right behind me.
I'll stay right behind Isaac.
A lot of you have many children at home, different ages, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? So one thing that helps us is focusing on the children that can hold their own for a little bit first. So get them going, because typically that's the older children. They've got books to read or essays to write, math problems to do. So focus on them for the first 15, 20 minutes, get them going, and then focus on the children that need more attention.
Fix. I fixed it.
The curriculum of the older kids is a little bit longer too, so it's critical to get them moving faster. They're going to need a larger part of the day to get their schoolwork accomplished.
Right.
I like the freedom homeschool gives you more, like you can do something else while you're doing the subject.
Yeah.
So it's multitasking of tasks that you have to do and then like personal tasks that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more or less enjoyable.
So what would you say to all these families that all of a sudden they have to homeschool their kids and they've never been homeschooled before?
To go with the flow and get to know what needs to be done and to just like be patient and work everything out.
Any encouragement for the parents?
You'll be fine. It's just a phase.
Then you focus on the little ones because they need all the attention. You're cooking fish?
Uh-huh.
Mmm.
It's not done yet. That looks yummy fish. I'm gonna put it in the oven.
Oh, okay. While you're getting the older ones going, first thing, you can be eating breakfast with the little ones. They can be playing with their blocks. It's good for them to know patience too. That teaches the little ones patience. So it works out quite well with a larger family. One thing that we do with all of them are the chores before school. If you feel overwhelmed because of school, maybe it's time for your kids to pick up a few extra chores at home because you actually have less time to do the chores because you're spending more time with them. So it has to even out somehow, and that is okay. It is okay to ask your kids to do more around the house because actually it gives them a sense of purpose and it's very good for their self-esteem. we ask our kids to do quite a bit. If you have several ages, some of their chores have to do with teaching the younger kids or reading to the younger kids, or even Kate, one of Kate's chores is playing with Mercy. So that is one of her chores throughout the day.
So our 7-year-old has a chore of playing with a 3-year-old, engaging.
Yep. So during that time, she's got to be extra cognizant of sharing and training and teaching ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, skipping. We had to change spots. My arm was tired.
Welcome to our kitchen. It's 5 feet from our. So this is our dining room.
Back porch.
Welcome to our dining
Which is
room.
good. A kind of a lanai. I've always wanted one with palm trees.
By the time we get this done, you'll have seen our whole apartment,
Yes.
which isn't very big. It's bigger than an RV.
Don't forget to recognize individual kids. A lot of times we even fall into just thinking of us as a unit, thinking school's done for everybody. But the children sometimes need that individual care and that one-on-one time. And they might not be getting it right now because you have to juggle a lot. But it's really important not to forget that. Even if it's just with something that you have to do. Say you have to go get gas, or you have to get an oil change, or you really need to go and pick up some milk and bread. Or toilet paper. It's okay. Just let them go with you. And they will actually love it.
Yeah. So you get your task done and you have a buddy date, and
even if it's not special time, it is special time. It's you and that kid alone, and just cherish this time.
well, today is Kate's birthday. Yay! And we were at the grocery store getting birthday cake in the middle of the COVID stuff. And look at this balloon they gave her. So she went in to wash her hands so she could eat her Happy Meal. And the clerk found out that it was her birthday. And they're regulating things at the store, as you might expect during a virus scare. And everybody stopped. They got on the loudspeaker and sang to Kate, and the whole store clapped. And they gave her a balloon, and we were just overcome with the joy. We were just amazed. And this is, I think, what our nation is in for. These random acts of kindness and joy as this settles down.
We had to move outside. One comment that we have gotten a few times are parents saying, we're just so overwhelmed with the amount of work that schools are sending home with us.
Right, which we can totally understand.
Right.
Imagining, both working and then having a curriculum forced on you. I get that comment. I feel it.
Right. There are a couple of ways you can handle this. Number one, divide and conquer, right? You've got hopefully a support system, whether it's a grandma or a husband or wife, sister, brother, something where you can divide and conquer. And that doesn't just mean adults, it means kids too.
Right.
Allow the children to help each other. Some of my favorite moments in homeschool is watching the tenderness with which Eli reads to Kate.
Mm-hmm.
He's really so good at that. And
he's more patient than I am most days. So, which I told him this morning. I was like, he's wonderful.
He's very good. And I think that it just allows them to feel proud about what they're doing. It gives them a sense of accomplishment, and they are truly helping the whole family out. And that's good. That is another one of our chores, like we said.
One of the beautiful things about homeschooling is you get that one-on-one, and you learn quickly what your kids are good at, and you can attenuate their duties. Like Eli is super good like that, and so you see each kid's talents and adjust the curriculum based on that. Where do I need help? Who's good at what? I got this.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get into the group. So another thing you can do is really just put the big rocks in the bucket first. You know that they've sent home 10 worksheets and 1 test, and you only have to turn in the test.
Or if you only have to turn in the test, then start with the test and
Start
work
with
backwards.
the test and work backwards. Think, okay, I'm going to do 2 worksheets in the test, and I'm going to see where my child actually has a need for more learning, or how quickly does he grasp these concepts and work backwards?
Right. And you might feel like, oh, I'm cheating them out of what they're going to get out of the worksheet. But ask yourself, what's better? A frustrated, imploded family feeling overwhelmed, or a kid who aced a test and retained something because we kept our cool? One of those is clearly better. So I say work backwards and stick with what's necessary and build off of that.
Because really, how much do you remember from school? How much? This is not going to make or break them.
Next is lean on other families. As homeschooling family for 10 years now, we belong in co-ops, and we have networks online, in person, and that's a big thing for us. But for anybody, especially right now, new to it, reach out. Lean on other families, lean on homeschooling communities if you can. Parents who have been doing it for a while. So you're not in this alone. They're going to have a lot of insight and tips on how to deal with the frustration and maybe what's really cool in the community that you live in that would augment what you're trying to do.
Another thing you can do as a group of parents, when you know there's too much work, band together to communicate. This is an unprecedented time in history, and I think that it would behoove you to just communicate to the school and say, wow, this is a lot. I don't think I can get this done. Or, if other parents are feeling the same way.
I'm sure the schools have systems of support built in, but maybe those systems aren't quite adequate yet. So we just need to bridge the gap.
Yeah. And don't forget online resources. If you have 2 teenagers, for example, and you want to talk with them about ethics and biochemistry, get online resources in front of them. So maybe the time that you have one-on-one with them and need to take explaining a concept is a little bit less. Let someone online explain it to them first, and then answer questions. And that will allow you to really spend quality, unfrustrated time with all of them.
The next point we want to make is that the chores in the house frame the day and help the parents. It keeps everybody's sanity.
Yes.
Kind of creates a structure for the day. You make the expectations clear at the beginning of the day so there's no implosion later.
My 14-year-old loves to cook. She loves to do certain chores because she knows how much it helps me, and she's just a giver. So we just allow her to do those chores, and it really does help out quite a bit. She gets a sense of accomplishment, and that just plays to her strengths.
Today, Eli grabbed he had to take out the trash today. He grabbed his skateboard and his headphones and the trash and headed out. And it was his alone time. It's a combination.
Just like a small escape.
Yeah, but he doesn't bother him one bit because it's a little distance to the trash can in the garage he has to go to, right? So in this apartment complex.
How long did he take to come back?
It wasn't long, but he came back refreshed and bebopping, he was ready for the day. So just paying attention to their gifts and talents and their needs and putting them together with the responsibilities. It's a nice blend.
It's just a certain amount of structure that helps the whole family operate a little bit smoother, and the parents don't feel bitter because they have to do everything. And you're raising small adults here. And if you're doing it right, you're working yourself out of a job. You're going to be allowing them to develop the skills that they're going to need when they go. What are you working on?
Math.
Yeah. Is this your favorite place to do school?
It's the best place I could do school. Maybe not my favorite. We have a whole village outside, so.
A library and a cafe. Some good things. So what exactly are you doing in math right now?
Right now I'm checking problems. So I do lessons of math until there's enough that I need to, take a day or two to check it. And right now I'm just going through the wrong problems and stuff like that.
Do you like homeschool? Are you happy that you're homeschooled?
Yes. I think homeschooling's better for me.
Why? Why do you say it's better for you?
I'm free to kind of make my own schedule, and you don't have to sit in one place. You can kind of go anywhere. You can take your own breaks, whatever. It's better in a lot of ways, I would say. Focus on the stuff that's really important. So
Like
it's
surfing and. What's your favorite subject?
my favorite subject, science, I think. I like to study the human body and the circulatory system and the digestive system. And right now I'm just focusing on math quite a bit, but I think science is my favorite. Doesn't really matter what kind, I think it's just what I have most fun in.
We personally have a rotating chore list, and every day the chores rotate, so we don't ever get that's not my job, or and then they develop skills in all sets of chores, and they realize the detriment we're all in when somebody doesn't do the chores. If you don't do the dishes, guess what? Where's the clean forks?
That's
and
right.
if you don't do laundry, then somebody doesn't have clean pants.
It's easier said than done, but our next point is don't stress. Try to see this as an opportunity to spend time together, not just another task to master. So we've got to get some schoolwork done. We've got a responsibility to our kids, and school's going to meet back in session again. But let's see what we can do together as a family. This is an opportunity. Some people are out of work. Everybody's out of school. So what can we do together?
Yeah.
In homeschooling, I look at it like this. In 2 weeks or 2 months, our kids are going to look at the time they had with me at the helm, or her, and they're going to say that was awesome, or that really stunk. And that's largely up to us.
Yeah.
Our creativity, the energy, the sacrifice, what we're going to put into it. So let's say this is all back to normal in 3 weeks. At that time, our kids are going to look back on this time of homeschooling, and they're going to have an evaluation. They're going to have a report card for us. It's time for us to make A's now. Lastly, homeschooling actually takes less time. I was shocked when we first got into it that it's amazing how efficiently you can get the job done.
It does take less time, and if you have littles at home, you will think, they're supposed to be busy this whole time. What do I do with them now? So don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. You probably already know that if you've been homeschooling for a couple of weeks.
Just imagine gym class, recess, breaks between classes, time when the teacher has to spend time with the kids who are acting up or not getting it.
Lining up.
All that is your time, and that's a gold mine of ways that we can enrich this time with our kids.
Some people have said, I don't think I'm smart enough to homeschool, or I don't think I'm patient enough to homeschool. But I will answer the smart enough. We didn't worry too much about, because we started when they were little. But now as they're getting older, he handles the hard classes. And that's perfect. No, seriously, we depend on others. We depend on a strong curriculum, and we depend on other resources online. And if we don't have the answers, the homeschooling community is just as warm and fuzzy as the RV community, as any other community that find themselves needing to depend on each other.
Yeah.
That is a great resource wherever you are.
I find myself relearning material with them in the upper grades. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter how advanced your degree is or what your IQ is. You just don't remember. Kids will come to me with a question, and I'll reread the material and go through it. Just rediscover it with them, and that's cool,
What is hard is when you're jumping from them going to school with somebody else teaching them, and then you have to finish what the teachers started, and you don't know really where she's been or what. So it's actually easier just to homeschool the whole way through than to try.
We don't envy you.
Yeah, try to make sense of somebody else's plan.
If you're picking this curriculum up in the middle of the school year,
That is not easy.
God love you.
How do you choose curriculum? There are tons of resources. We will link below, whether it's some preschool fun, coloring pages, museum 3D video, and new is always fun. Even though we have a set curriculum, there are some days where I'm like, oh, we've just done the same thing day after day. We need a break. We're going to have kind of a wonder day. Like, I wonder how airplanes work, or I wonder what makes the seasons change.
Oh, look, peanut chili. Oh,
Malaysia. Never going to Costa Rica or Malaysia.
Emily, can that bug kill me?
We've talked about managing attitudes through our travels, whether it's a road trip or an assignment. But you have to kind of do that throughout the day too. If the day is drudgery and you're like, oh, we just need to get this work done, a break is good. A dance break. The athletic challenge, or put a puzzle together for 15 minutes every hour. Put some fun music on, dance around the room, and just lift the spirits of your kids, because being cooped up indoors in the same four walls, I really do feel like you're on our journey with us now for real. This is what we do. But it's good to just boost the attitude a little bit. In the midst of all of this, we have friends that were asked to put together a top 10 for their church community. And we wanted to share that down below too, because they have also been homeschooling for quite a while. We hope that this has offered a little bit of insight for you who have been thrown into this all of a sudden.
Maybe something we've said stimulates an idea, a better idea from you. Please leave it in the comments. You never know who it's going to help.
If you are thinking about homeschooling full-time, hopefully this helps.
Yeah, this might be the tip of the iceberg. This little temporary COVID homeschool project might be just what
what says, oh, I could do this.
you could do it. Yeah. And then once you're homeschooling, who knows?
You can go on vacation anytime you want. Not that you have any left after this, but
you might even become one of those crazy full-time traveling road schooling families. You never know.
And we might see you on the road.
Thanks for joining us this week. We're glad you're here for our journey, and we're glad to be here for yours.
Yes. Please stay safe.
If you like this video, please click the like, a little bell for notifications, and click subscribe. It helps us get the message out. Have a great week.
Bye.
Hey everyone, we're the Hurdlers. I'm Erin.
You're gonna have to figure it out for yourselves. Okay? Young. There you go. Hey guys. We are Swiss Family Robeson. Road schooling.